Hey guys, I'm here tonight to do a concert review, and this one is special for me, and I'm sure it's special for all of those in attendance. Sebastian Bach, currently touring across North America. Tonight he played in Toronto. So I need to break this one down into different levels because there's a lot to talk about. So starting off with Toronto, the city, the venue, the Phoenix. His first time playing in Toronto in 6 long years, and he's Canadian, and if you didn't know, he is from Toronto. He grew up here, so this was a return home for him. His mother and aunt were in attendance. How cool is that? Maybe you went to see him in LA, maybe you're still going to see him at one of his future tour stops, but his mother is not going to be there, but she was there tonight with his aunt in attendance to see him perform. The city came out to see him perform. The place was packed, just packed with people, fans of Skid Row, fans of Sebastian Bach, obviously, and I felt the energy in the air. The energy was definitely palpable. So from a venue standpoint, from being in his hometown, I felt like all the right ingredients were in place. Then, as far as the music, as far as the performance, let me start off by mentioning the band. The band that's touring with him are top notch, and I think you have to have great supporting cast when you are a musician of his caliber. And on drums he has his son, great drummer, and then they have a really phenomenal guitar player. I really like the style, very old school, a little bit like Slash from Guns N' Roses. It has that sort of vibe, it has that sort of that sort of style, the way he plays with that swag, that rock and roll swag that you really need when you're on a tour like this, when you're in a band like this. And they also have a phenomenal bass player that I felt like was really good, especially also helping with some of the backing vocals. So I felt like he added a lot of value to the performance and obviously to what the band brings to the table. When it comes to Sebastian, let me just say this. I didn't know what to expect. I know he has a new album, there's a new record out. I knew he was going to play songs from that record, but obviously everybody's expecting some Skid Row tracks, specifically when their debut album, Skid Row, turns 35 years this year. I can't believe the band has had that longevity of a career. I can't believe that Sebastian has had that longevity of a career. It's not for everybody. That is the fact, but they've been around for that long, celebrating 35 years, so he's going to play a bunch of Skid Row songs. And if you're attending the show, he's going to give you 11 Skid Row songs and 4 songs out of his new album. So I feel like you're going to get a little bit of the new, a little bit of the old. There's going to be a lot of time traveling as far as the set list is concerned. I think for some of those in attendance tonight, like myself, was a little bit of a return to my teenage years. I remember listening to songs like 18 and a Life and Slave to the Grind, obviously Youth Gone Wild, which is a staple if you're going to see Sebastian Bach live. So these songs really allowed me to be transported to a much different time that I remember discovering these songs on Headbangers Ball and listening to them on CD and buying the CDs and then watching him and the band being featured in Vulgar Display video of Pantera, because they were on tour together. I believe it was 1992. Pantera and Skid Row toured together across North America. They actually played in Toronto. So it was really good for me personally. My soul kind of needed this ability to travel in time and to see these songs being performed live now in 2024. Now the question you're probably asking me, okay, like he performed the songs, but how did it sound? And I don't mean the band, because I'm sure the band is okay, but how did he sound? He sounded phenomenal. Obviously he's not 20, he's not 18 anymore, he's 56, but he sounds like he's 36. He almost doesn't feel like he has aged. Vocally, he hasn't aged almost at all. I was blown away. He can still hit those notes. And it's not like there's some backing tracks playing behind him to fill in the gaps. There's no backing tracks, there's no click tracks, there's no laptops, there's no nothing, no in-ear pieces, nothing. This is old school rock and roll performance. Bass player, guitar player, drummer, singer, and a fucking wall of amps. And beyond that, you have the audience. That's all you need. This is like bare bones, old school rock and roll show. And if that's what you're into, you're fucking going to love it, because it really brings it down to the mystic, the aura that era of rock and roll had. And that era of rock and roll is kind of dying out in terms of keeping things in that traditional format. I know the music has evolved. I know rock and roll, metal, the genres have evolved. They've gone into different places, and that's fine. I love that shit, obviously. But it's so nice to go to a show where it's just really the band playing the same way they would have played, 35 years ago. I love that. There is, I know it's nostalgic. I know there's this sense of recreating the past, but I feel it's when the music is at its truest form, super organic. Obviously, you're going to hear mistakes here and there, but that's part of a live performance. If I don't want to hear mistakes, I listen to the CD at home. If I'm coming to see it live, I want to see a performance. And I feel like I got that. Sebastian is really good at interacting with the crowd. I don't know how he is when it comes to playing shows in the US, but being on home soil, being in Canada, especially in his hometown, obviously there was a lot of banter back and forth in terms of special places in the city, memories that he has of things that he did in the city, shows that he played in the city. So to me, that was super cool because it brought that home vibe into the venue, into the show, into the performance. And obviously the crowd really enjoys that because it's not every day that we get one of our own to perform in front of us. And he's carried the Canadian flag everywhere he's gone, and he's definitely an icon of Canadian rock and roll music. And I just felt like I was blessed today to have an opportunity to go see him live. And it's not one of those that you see so many times these days, artists that are way past beyond their prime and sometimes dragging themselves through the stage just for another paycheck. This guy came on, and like I said, he performed like he was 36, 26. His voice is incredible. He has his voice in such top-notch shape, which completely surprised me and blew me away, because also this is not a tour where he's playing 4 shows or he's playing maybe 3 weeks worth of shows where he gets every other day off. No, like he played 4 nights in a row coming into Toronto. Now he gets a night off before he goes to Quebec City. But what I'm saying to you is, for an artist at his age, to be able to still perform at this level, it's incredible. I felt like he was solid. I enjoyed every single song. I obviously enjoyed the classics. It was so nice to hear him sing them, bring them to life again. You can hear Youth Gone Wild, but unless it's Sebastian singing, it's not really Youth Gone Wild. Let me just put it out there. That's how I feel, and that's how it felt to me. So tonight, finally, I got that experience. I could close my eyes and I could see Skid Row 1992 performing all of these songs. So that to me was priceless. It's a memory that stays, and it's something that for a very long time, like I said, growing up listening to them, listening to him, growing up with Skid Row, this was an important moment for me. I wanted to see him live. I wanted to be able to have the opportunity to do so, and tonight I did. So if you're like me, if you grew up with Skid Row, if you grew up with Sebastian Bach, check out the tour dates in the description of this video. Do not miss it. The quality of the performance is top level from a musicianship standpoint and from a vocal standpoint. Great band that he has, great artist, great frontman. Go see him, don't miss it. It was an incredible evening. That's all I gotta say. All right, guys, I'll see you all at the next one. Take care.